Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of the Chatterbox podcast, where we're going to be talking about financial literacy. If you're interested in changing yourself and changing your wealth, well, here is the podcast you're going to want to listen to. You're going to tap in, and we're going to be tapping into everything. I'm here with my buddy right now, Stock Option Tone Dollars.
Yes,
yes
sir.
sir. What up,
brother.
gang? What up?
Always a pleasure.
Okay.
Skitty, talk to me.
What's good, bro?
What up?
Tone Dollars?
Yes, sir.
Tone Dollars, you're making money.
Yes, sir.
Okay, my boy making money. Stock Option Tone, what's up? Which one you like to go by? Tone Dollars or Stock Option Tone?
Tone Dollars is my original name. So I go by Tone Dollars. That was my rap name. That was the first name that was given to me. So I just rock with Tone Dollars.
Okay, so you rap, huh?
I used to.
Okay. So what's your background like? So because everything here is about money. Tone Dollars, Stock Option Tone, you must be making money.
I'm doing my thing.
Doing your thing. I like that.
We ain't complaining.
Okay. So as far as you, what you do for money? Do you work, trap, you hustle, you rap?
Nah. So originally I was working over at Enterprise. I gave that up about a year and a half ago. I got into stock options. I got into crypto, and I made a lot of money in the process. So it helped me to just, start a business and show people how to do it on a larger scale. So that's what I do now. I'm basically a coach and a mentor.
A coach and a mentor. Mm-hmm. So if we wanted to learn about stock options,
yes.
Right? So is there a difference between stock and options, or stock options is one thing?
Well, it's a difference. So stocks is like the shares within the company, and then options is utilizing or renting out 100 shares at a time for a specific amount of time. So you get an expiration date.
All right, so the option is you get an expiration date.
Correct.
Within 100. So you got to buy 100 shares?
You got to get 100 shares at a time at a discount. So you get them at a discount.
So any stock?
Any stock. It has to be 100 shares.
Okay.
Every one contract is worth 100 shares.
Okay. So how'd you, what happened? You just always knew about stock options? You learned that?
So what happened was I ended up getting fired from Enterprise during the pandemic. And I was trading. They gave me a severance package of $10,000. So I took that $10,000. I ended up flipping it into over $300,000, right? So I took the initial 10. I was investing it in shares at the time, and then I had two buddies, Jonathan and Arvin. So Arvin that you just interviewed, and my brother Jonathan over from Florida. They was like, "Yo, you got to get with this option stuff." And I was like, "Options are a little too risky. I don't want to lose any money with this. I'm crushing it. I had just made like $150K. I'm like, I'm crushing it right now." They're like, nah, like, if you think you're crushing it there, like, welcome to this. And then when I got introduced to that, like, making 100 in shares, that took a long time compared to options. Like, I did that shit in a month.
So you made 150,000?
Yeah.
Off of, hold on. How much you started with?
I started for 10 racks.
10 racks. So these 10 racks you got because Enterprise
fired me, correct.
Fired you. So they fired you and gave you 10 bands?
Yeah.
And you just...
It's called a severance package.
A severance package.
So they got to buy you out. Basically, like, I didn't get fired because I sucked as an employee, and I didn't get fired because I did anything wrong. They were just like, yo, we buying people out.
Okay.
So my package was for $10,000. On top of that, I was getting unemployment. So
okay.
I was just killing it at the end of the day. And,
okay.
And I didn't really have any expenses. I was living with my mom's, and I didn't really care too much about drip or none of that jewelry. That doesn't impress me. So what I did was I just took all that money. I lived off the unemployment. I invested the severance and crushed it.
All right. So what advice can you give us about that? Because not all of us got 10 bands. Right. I don't got 10 bands to invest right now. I'm down. But for someone, let's say, watching this video, and let's say they're still in that position, still working at a regular job, making that type of money from Enterprise or whatever you make.
Right.
Where's their entry point?
So I would say definitely you want to tap into stock options. The reason that you want to get into stock options is just it helps you leverage your money so much, right? And if you have a day off, right? So what I would do is after work, I would educate myself on stock options. So I would buy a course from somebody, right? I offer a course, right? So I would take my course and I would do that, and I would study every single day, right? And then what I would do on my lunch break is I would paper trade. So not using real money, using fake money. I would trade in the market just to see what's going on my lunch breaks. On my days off, right? Meaning not the Saturdays and Sundays because you can't trade, but like the days you call out or the days you're off from work during that week, like that's the day that I'm gonna use to trade. And if I have a $500 or $1,000, I'm only going to focus on smaller cap stocks, right? So I'm going to focus on like, let's say T-Mobile, McDonald's, right? Stocks that are not very volatile, that are super cheap, right? And I would just start to flip my money, and I would take like 10% at a time, right? And I would get disciplined at taking 10% profits at a time and just growing my portfolio as much as possible so that when I do grow it to that 10,000 or to that 25,000, which you would need to day trade, you're going to understand being a disciplined trader is going to make you sustain longer than blowing your entire account. Okay.
So what stocks did you initially invest in?
Oh, man. So the thing is, I always say this. My timing was a lot different. I got in during the pandemic. So when the pandemic occurred, I got in at the right time because the entire market crashed.
Yeah.
So if you think about, I had Square at $65. Right? And Square went up to $200, $300. So in options, every $1 move is $100. And I got leap contracts, $2,000, and I bought 20 contracts. And the stock goes up to $150, $200, $300, right? I'm easily in that, $30, $40, $50,000 range, right?
Easily.
And when you got $10,000 to play with, these longer leap contracts was making me so much money. So, I was buying Shopify, I was buying I was buying Square, I was buying Twilio, and these stocks were just increasing on a day-to-day, like breaking out. I'm talking about some were doing $20 a day, some were doing $15 a day, and watching these stocks break out, and I was just taking profit, and by the time you look up, I was just crushing it. It was insane.
You was up. Did you get it? Did you get in at any GME? Because I know that was a wave. I want to know what was that about. That wave. What was it about?
So that was just shorting stocks, like the big sellers were shorting these stocks. I don't really play with GME or AMC. I do make money now off of those stocks, but I wasn't playing like the shorts.
Okay.
But those people on Reddit, they were crushing it. So. That for me, that's just that's gambling, and I kind of don't like to gamble. So I take a different approach. I have like a swing trader's approach where I don't trade every single day, but a lot of my trades are based on what I think the stock is gonna do from here to a specific amount of time. Why? Because the amount of money you can make swing trading is going to be a lot more profitable and lucrative than day trading.
So swing trading.
So swing trading is when you hold a stock for more than one day.
Okay.
Right? And day trading is obviously when you sell it the same day. Lead trading is when you hold for anywhere from 2 weeks to a month. So and positional trading is anything over a year.
All right. So leap trading is the way to go.
Leap trading is the way to go, whether it's on an uptrend, like I caught it during the pandemic time,
okay,
or the downtrend now. Like a lot of stocks that were up severely are breaking down. So if you would have caught let's say stocks that were at all-time highs, they're literally like Peloton was at $260, at $30 now. If you look at AIC3 was at $160, it's at $20 now. So you can catch those uptrends and you can catch those downtrends, and when you on the winning side, you're just super profitable.
So what I want to know what to look at, when you you said Peloton was at 263, now it's at 30.
It was at 260 something.
260 something. So is it the time now to buy? Since I would think that there's potential in buying it at $30 just because I know the roof, I know where it can be.
See, that's the thing about trading, right? That's not always true, and people might tell you that's the way, but that's not always true. Because if you look at Gush, right, GUSH, it's an oil ETF, right? Gush was at $3,000. It's at $40 now, from $3,000. It's never going back there.
That's crazy. Imagine the people who lost.
No, people did lose, right? So when you talk about the oil sector right now, right, when they got destroyed, people like us would think, oh, it's the right time to buy, but it's not, right? Because they're transitioning into electric cars and all that type of stuff. So if you talk about technology and where we're headed, right, oil actually might continue to take that hit.
So The oil, I like the EV space.
Yeah, the EV space.
I'm investing into Neo.
Okay.
If you had to, do you think, is it possible to manipulate the market? Like, is that a possibility?
So, not to necessarily manipulate it, but can you get over on the market? Yeah, you can. There's ways for you to get over on the market. If you understand technical analysis, if you understand how to read, candlestick patterns, and you invest your time to knowing what the stock movements are doing and what the stock patterns look like, then you can get over. But I wouldn't say necessarily manipulate.
All right. So you went to school to learn this?
Nah, I learned this in the house. I was actually in a hotel. I was in Las Vegas at the time.
Okay.
And it was presented to me, and I just started taking interest in Las Vegas. And I was one of my good friends, my boy Noble. We was at the roulette table, and one of these gentlemen was just talking to me about, because I told him that I invest and I got a bunch of stocks in my portfolio, and he was just breaking a bunch of things down to me. We was in Vegas. We was at the roulette table. We went out, had a suite. We went to the suite. And I pulled out my laptop, and he just showed me some stuff, and I was intrigued. So when I came back to the States, I got with Arvin. We had a little meeting, and I got with a couple other people that were, invested into the stock market, primarily in options. And I was like, yo, you know what? I got to be a forefront on this. Like, I got to learn this. Yeah. I got to kind of master it, and I got to kind of take it over, because I know the type of person that I am. Like, once I get hungry and like motivated, I'm like, all right, I could win at a high level.
Now you could finesse it. Now you could find a way to profit.
And that's what I did.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. All right. So I like where this is going, because this is the thing. Everyone wants to do stocks. Everyone wants to do options.
Yeah.
So with people wanting to be, people want the instant gratification.
Correct.
People want the money now.
Right.
So options is the way.
So the thing about options is super risky. Because the same way that you can make a lot of money, you can blow a lot of money. Okay. Right. So it's not something that I would say, hey, everybody should start doing this. I definitely think that self-development is key. And I think that it's another opportunity for you to monetize and make a lot of money. But I also think that it comes with self-education and commitment. If you're not gonna actually learn it, and you're just gonna jump in and you're gonna buy somebody's Discord, you're gonna lose a lot more than you make. And you're gonna either become discouraged, or two, you're just gonna say, like, this is not for you.
Okay. So you have a Discord, right?
Correct. Planet Profits.
Planet Profits. Okay, we spoke about that last episode with Arvin. So what in Planet Profits, what can people look for? Or what do you guys offer in Planet Profits that would drive people to the Discord?
So actually what I did was I took a play out of every affiliate marketers or network marketers book, right? Mm-hmm. So you look at somebody like Forex, right? Forex charges you, let's say, $150 a month.
Yep.
Right? What I did was I knocked them in half, and I said, hey, you don't got to pay me 50, you can pay me 70, right? But I'm still going to provide you that mentorship. I'm still going to provide you signals. I'm still going to provide you that community that you're looking for, and I'm going to do it for half the price, right? And then when a lot of Forex people started coming to my community, I started to just get some feedback, right? So I'm very big on understanding what the market wants. So they're like, hey, a lot of my mentors kind of left me behind. They just like left me in the dust. I'm still lost. So what I did was I created another community within my community. And by doing that, it allowed me to open up to mentorship. And now I take the mentorships, we go on Zoom, and I'm holding people's hand, and I'm just educating them every single day. And I'm giving them an outlet, right, to express what kind of difficulties that they're having and how we can resolve them, right? So then I brought people in like Arvin. Arvin brought in his guys, Maz, and brought in Smith Dubs, right? I also brought in Prime and Carl, right? So these are all gentlemen that know how to trade. They were all Maz and Arvin and Smith Dubs, they traded separately, but the team that I created, they all know how to trade like me. Like, they learned from me. So now I trust these guys with trades because it didn't come from a third party. It came from the source directly.
Yeah.
And these guys are simply just crushing it, right? So going back to what I said within the community, I just started, providing mentorship. I've allowed Prime and Carl to also be mentors. Arvin is also a mentor. So now we just have a whole bunch of Zooms running. We got Maz and Smith Dubs that are also mentors. So if you look into my community, I have about 5 to 6 mentors, right? We're providing great signals, right? We're helping people make money every single day. And we're just communicating with people at a high level so that the performance is also increasing, right? So that's kind of what we did in the Discord.
That's wavy. That's wavy. Shout out to everyone. So within that Discord, you have multiple people working with you.
Correct.
To provide for that community.
Absolutely.
To get money.
Maximize results.
Like if you really break it down and think about it like that, like you built something so you could help others.
Of course.
That's a beautiful thing. Shout out to everyone in that Discord.
100%. So to me, it's always about making an impact.
Okay.
Right? Because the money's going to come. Money is based on value. Right? So we don't look at money as how other people look at money. Right? Money is based on value. And the more value that you provide, the more money you're going to make.
Yeah.
Right? So you look at somebody like Maz or Smith Dubs that they're practically, multimillionaires in the Discord. They're not worried about the money that's coming in through the back end because they're going to make their money off trading. They're trying to make the impact. So then what Smith Dubs started to do was like, hey, look, I'm going to also provide a mentorship where I'll teach you my skill set for about $100. So now he's also using my community to profit within the community, right? So when you look at that aspect, there's always going to be, availability for someone to make profit and someone to be helped. But it all begins with impact. Right, you have to make impact, and once you make impact with your customers and your clients, you're gonna make more money.
All right. So, what are the most commonly asked questions? Because I could imagine. I know I entered your Discord, and I have history. Mm-hmm. I asked you about 1 million questions.
Yeah.
What is your most commonly asked questions when entering, or the people who just entered the Discord?
So now what I'm realizing is a lot of people are confused with when to enter and exit a play. They might jump onto our live trading a little late, or they might have not understood the proper instructions. So, I mean, me and Arvin is working to condense the Discord. So, most asked questions is like, hey, I don't know where to go to look for signals, or hey, I don't know when to enter or exit. But what I'm realizing is the majority of people that have those questions, they've never traded before. Mm-hmm. So when you have people that have never traded before enter the Discord because it's only $70, people are thinking that, it's going to be easy, right? Yeah. I paid the $70. I'm investing into myself, but they're not really investing into themselves. Like I always say, like, you should pay for a course before you get into the
actual investment.
The Discord, because once you begin investing, like your only why at that point is money. Yeah. And the second that you start losing money, you give up and you start to fail.
So is that everyone's fear? Like, can you get caught up? Is it gambling? I want to know.
So it's not gambling, right? So the reason that it's not gambling is because it's based on history, it's based on data, it's based on projections of the overall company, right? You can find all this information out. With gambling, you can't really gauge pattern. Like even if you're playing roulette and 10 blacks came out in a row, the 11th doesn't have to be red. It can literally be black. Yeah. Right. You're betting more on chance when it comes to gambling, but in stocks, you're betting primarily on price action, and you're betting primarily on the projection of the overall company. Right. So I wouldn't necessarily say it's gambling, but I can see how people can correlate the two.
Yeah. All right. So besides the Discord, is there any other ways? Let's say people can't afford it. Okay. Right. Is there any other advice that you give someone, maybe like a book or a YouTube? Do you have a YouTube channel? Do you recommend anything? How, like when you were coming up were there little tricks or little things that you used to do, to learn a little bit more?
So the first thing that I would say is you want to buy as many courses as possible. Mm-hmm. Like go on as many, influencers pages that are selling courses, interact with those influencers, buy their courses. I would say one thing that I utilized was Fiverr. Like Fiverr has a great freelancing community of traders that are like super good at trading, but they suck at marketing. So they're providing like a service for like $15-$20, mm-hmm. but it's so insightful because they know so much. They just don't know how to market, and joining Fiverr will be the best way for them. And then with the thing about Fiverr is you can't really provide high ticket because it was like meant to be like a $5 to $15 service.
Yeah.
So now you're trading services for $15 and you're giving out a lot of gems. So when I jumped on Fiverr, I was just finding out so many gems that I was like, yo, this is
soaking that up.
Yeah, I'm soaking it up, and then I'm crushing it. I was already crushing it. So when you just add a couple, tools to your tool belt, you become like that superhero.
That's right. So Fiverr, I use Fiverr. I thought it was only for like building platforms.
Yeah.
So you can actually go on Fiverr and find someone. So let's say people are going on Fiverr.
Yeah.
What are they typing to search?
You just put stock options, technical analysis, or how to read charts.
But they're not gonna get the information like they're gonna get from your Discord. Your Discord is
gonna be completely different. Yeah, it's gonna be completely different. But you can still get a ton of information for $15.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you're gonna get how to read a chart, how to look at different time frames, how to identify bull and bear flags. Like you're gonna get so much information for $15. You can't beat that. And if you're taking somebody's course like mine or Aristotle's or Jay Pell's or Matt Giano, like you're gonna learn stock options from 101 to level 600. You know what I mean? And when you take that information and then you go to Fiverr and you're like, oh, that's what Tone meant. Oh, that's what Aristotle meant. Oh, that's what Matt meant. Then you're gonna be like, you could put all the pieces to the puzzle. It starts to make more sense, right? Mm-hmm. So never stop seeking knowledge. That's definitely one of the key indicators to becoming successful.
Mm-hmm. So your understanding of money.
Yeah.
Where did that come from? Like, how was your past? Like,
it came from being broke.
It came from being broke, right?
Like that's just what it comes from. Like, I always tell people that when you don't have money, you value it a lot more, because it's like, why people take pictures with celebrities?
Why is that? I've always wanted to know.
People love taking pictures with celebrities because that opportunity may not come again, right? And it's the same thing with money. You don't know when's the next time this amount of money is going to come to you, right? So when you take a look at a drug dealer, right? A drug dealer sees a lot of money fast. So the amount of value that they have for money is very, very low because they're like, oh, I can make this back tomorrow. Mm-hmm. But when you're somebody that you work hard and the opportunity presents itself and you make $10,000, it comes out of nowhere, you kind of like get scared to spend that money because you like, yo, I don't know when 10 racks is coming back. So for me, it was like I was one of those dudes that I was never like a Gucci, a Louis Vuitton. I was more like I stayed in my lane. I was like a Nautica Polo type of dude. Uh-huh. So when I did have extra money, I kind of knew how to put it to the side, right? And that's what I did, man. And it helped me. It helped me so much, and I'm forever grateful for the opportunity to now have money and get to live on my terms.
Okay, so now that you have the bread, you shopping at those places? You still going to those places?
Hell no,
right?
Nah.
It's not financially. It's not an investment.
I don't think that it's not an investment because you can still get fly and spend money how you want, right? Mm-hmm. Like don't get me wrong, like I'm not cheap, but I just don't see the need for me to just go out and buy Louis, Gucci, and all that type of stuff, right? Like, very good.
So, besides stocks, do you do anything else, like as far as investments?
So I just bought a property in Dominican Republic.
Oh, congratulations, bro.
Good luck.
That's wavy.
Yeah, so I'm doing Airbnb.
Uh-huh.
Right now I'm selling my car. I'm in the process of starting a rental business.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so we're selling our car to use that money to start for the next car that we're gonna buy. And I don't know if it's gonna be a luxury because I'm still in the process of either getting a BMW i8, which I really want, or to get like a nice BMW or.
So you wanna start the rent a car business, the rent a car space, and the Airbnb. You know that's in.
Bro, I worked at Enterprise. If there's anybody that could do this,
that's what I'm thinking.
Rent a car thing. I think I'm highly qualified for that.
You definitely got some sauce in that space.
Exactly.
In that space, that's a good one. So the options. Back to the options.
Yeah.
How can you? Is it possible to go from no money to?
Nah, you need money.
You need money. So you definitely need money.
So you're talking about my $0 to $10,000 plan, right? So
I want to know.
So my $0 to $10,000 plan was based on pocket options.
Okay.
So pocket options came from a Forex community where they were trading on a 1-to-1 ratio, right? Meaning you can hit or you can miss, you can lose all your money, right? So what I did was I became an affiliate marketer with pocket options. So the way it works is like this. You literally have no money, right? I send you the link. You have the options of like volume sharing. You have the option of like first time deposit sharing. And that's what I primarily did. It's called FTD, first time deposit, right? So what you do is you'll tell, yo, Joey, sign up. Joey signs up. He puts in a band. For every FTD you get 50% from that person. So now you started with 0, but if Joey put in 500, I just made 250. If Arvin put in 500, I just made 250. So with those two people, I made $500, and I started with 0.
That's from you being an affiliate.
That's just being an affiliate.
Is that real numbers?
That's real numbers. And
so can you say like what?
Bro, this is sauce, bro.
This sauce. This is sauce. Real,
this is
sauce happening here.
I really did it. Like myself, ran it up to 10,000. That's why I call it the $0 to $10,000 plan. Like I have the screenshots. I have everything. They pay you in Bitcoin, so it's even better because that when you get paid, your value is increasing with Bitcoin. Right now it's down because Bitcoin kind of crashed. But you know, when I started, like Bitcoin was shooting up to 60,000 and 59,000. So if you think about the 3,000 really turned into like, you know, almost like $4,000, $5,000. I didn't even have to do anything to it, you know?
So that's an affiliate program. Can we what is there a link to that?
Yeah, it's a link. I get you over that information. It's like I said, it's super sauce. You make a lot of money doing it, and you don't have to do anything initially. Right? All you have to do is sign up, bring people in. Their first time deposit is going to make you money. You know, only thing that Pocket Options asks is that every single month you're like bringing in at least 3 people. So for your payout, like you have to have 3 people per month, right? So if you want to get paid today, then you have to have 3 people. If you don't have 3 people next month, you can't get paid. Right? Okay. So you got to every time you want to get that payout, you gotta have 3 people.
3 people minimum. Well, yeah, that's not bad.
Very
30
very
days
doable.
in a month.
Very very doable.
Very doable. You gotta be able.
You on
the grind. Everyone want to change their life.
You on the grind.
You on the grind. That's
but
it.
Can you go from zero having no money to 10,000? Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So that's crazy that you could do that. So I feel like there's no possible way that anyone could be broke right now. There's a grind for everything.
There is. But you have to be educated, bro. Like people don't know that. Yeah, that sauce right there.
That is sauce.
So if
I didn't know that.
That's what I'm saying. So if you look at it in retrospect, it's going to be difficult for everybody to do it because people lack the education part.
Yep.
You know what I mean? You don't know what you don't know. So you got to be informed, you know? So for me, it's like I'm always digging into, I'm trying to get a note out of everybody's like workbook. Yep. Right. So if it's podcast, I'm jumping into your workbook. I'm jumping into Zoe's workbook. If it's pocket options, I'm jumping into the Forex workbook. If it's stocks, I'm looking into Arvin's workbook. Right. Like you got to take a page out of everyone's notebook so that you can become successful because you're not going to do it by simply trial and error. You're going to lose a lot more in trial and error because you don't have the education in that space.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So with your Discord, you have multiple people. We touch on this. I want to touch on it. So we have multiple. You have multiple people working.
Yeah.
With that Discord, with you in that space. So for how much is it?
$70 a month.
So for $70, you're getting the knowledge, you're getting the information, and you're able to be in the proximity of like-minded people and people who know what
they're talking about. Absolutely.
That's a steal, bro.
That's how we set it up.
I'm not even lying to you. That's a steal. I really like that. Like I really like what you're doing. I really like what everyone's doing. Arvin, I like this pocket option seem like I want to do it. I want to get involved. So the risks behind it, there are risks.
There's risk in everything.
There's risk in everything. But what's the risk without taking one?
Exactly. you need to take risk.
You need to take risk. All right. So nerds to cool kids. What's that? What's that? That's just something. Again? That's just something that you know.
Say it again. What you say?
Nerds to cool kids.
Okay. Yeah. So it's actually nerds are the current cool kids.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
And basically what that's implying is like we don't care about your drip. We don't care about your jewelry. We don't care about your females. We don't care about how much clout you got on Instagram. Like right now, if you're not invested into the market, if you're not into NFTs, if you can't hold a conversation, then like you obsolete, bro. You dead. Like, we don't see you.
Yeah.
Bro. We don't care about those fancy whip. Everything that everybody had at one point that we didn't have it. Mm-hmm. But now if we want to go and pull out a BMW, like we could do that. If we want to, like, bro, we got properties. You know what I mean? Like we got things that we didn't have before, and what look cool on Instagram, it ain't cool no more.
It ain't.
You know what I mean? And that's just why we say like the nerds are the cool kids now. The people that you used to talk about back in the class, like he invested into crypto in 2017 and he held it down, or 2015 and he held it down and look at him now.
And now he's up.
And I say that for me, when I was growing up and we all came off in the scam era and we was all just everybody was making money. These dudes was flashing their money. They was going and buying drip, and they was going to the clubs, and they was buying bottles, and I wasn't impressed by that. So what I took with my little money, I invested in the Bitcoin, and I was flooding Bitcoin with the little money that I was making at the time, and I didn't have anything to show for it in that present time. But in the future time, we came up another 100,000-200,000.
That's crazy.
And
that's a lot of money.
And in 2021, when Bitcoin flew, all of those people that I was getting money with, they wave stopped. And when that wave stopped, they went broke. And what happened to me?
They not the cool kids.
You know what I mean? Huh? So that's why I say like it's not always about bragging. It's not always about trying to be better than other people. It's trying to make that impact, right? So we could have easily took the money that we made and went silent and was like, yo, forget everybody else. And we didn't do that. He was like, yo, look, we're gonna help, take your account to the next level. And I've helped countless people, make money, have extra money. One of the students in my Discord bought an AMG. One of my students in the Discord took his account from 10,000 to 150,000. One of the students in my Discord bought a house. Like people utilize the Discord as a platform, and they were able to, make a change in their lives by my impact. You know what I mean? So when you talk about bragging, like to me, it's not about money. It's about how many people can you help in order to be in a better situation.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
How can you, I think about that all the time. How can you change someone's situation by what you know?
Exactly.
What information can I give you to change your situation?
And that's what I did with Pocket Options, right? I hosted a free class to get people engaged in understanding what Pocket Options is.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And even though I didn't get paid on the front end, I didn't ask you for no money. Now I help you set up your account. That FTD that we talked about, I got paid on the back end.
Yep.
Right? So that's the thing about understanding how to make money. I didn't ask you for anything but your time. And when you came in, I helped you. You got to understand what Pocket Options is, and you paid me even though you didn't know you paid me.
Yeah.
That's how money works.
That's wavy. So do you still do that thing?
What thing?
With the referral?
Of course. That's what I just told you. I just did that when you joined my Zoom. That's the affiliate marketing.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right.
That's what I'm telling you.
All right. That Zoom was lit too. I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. That Zoom was lit.
That's what
I
it's
was
about.
in there like this, taking notes. I was out. You feel me? I like what you're doing.
Thank
I
you.
like what's being done.
Right.
So let's bring it back all the way back. Let's bring it back to your childhood.
Yeah.
But your mental, like, were you thinking the way you're thinking now? Like, is there any relationship from your past to your current situation?
I mean, I always was the genius in my friendships.
Okay.
Like, they always looked at me as that person, like, oh, let's go ask Tone. Like, Tone got to know this answer, right? Like, I always been that type of person. I always been very, very smart. School-wise, I wasn't the best in school. I was more like a B.C. student. And in college, I was more like a B.C. student. I never really had like the great grades.
You went to college too?
Yeah, I went to college.
Hold on. What college did you go to?
Casanova. Yeah.
Because I don't know what happened. I think I was in your comments and people were like, yo, how you know Tone, stock options? I'm like, man, I'm doing stock options, bro. Yeah. So you know out there. A lot of people know you. I know that for a fact. A lot of people
I
do
did
know
everything, man. And that's what I always say, like, you could always change your narrative, bro. Like, it's never going to be like solely transparent to who you really are. Like, I done sold t-shirts, I done rapped, I done been real estate agent, I done did my Instagram done see me do everything, bro. I done scammed, like, I done did everything, and people, they know me. Like, I was outside too. Like, it wasn't like I was unknown. Like, I was outside, so everybody know, and they seen every single growth that they see me grow every single time, right? So for me, it was like, yo, you could always change your narrative. And when I was scamming, it was like, yo, I'm either gonna go to jail or I'm gonna end up dying. Yeah. And that's how I looked at it. And it was like, yo, I went to college. Like, my mom always talk about, like, yo, you graduated from college, like, you really not doing nothing. But she didn't know that I was, making a couple dollars and invested it in a Bitcoin. And I had this friend named Terrence, and he was my roommate in college. Stu was like super heavy on crypto, like super heavy on the metaverse.
And what year was that?
This was like 2-3 years ago, bro.
Okay.
And he knew everything, like, was gonna play out. He's like, yo, bro, like, you gotta get into the metaverse. Like, people are gonna start buying land and in the digital real estate. And he was telling me about all these companies. And I was just like, yeah. I kind of like, yeah. And if I listened to him, I'd have been a millionaire. Yeah. Like, he really told me about all these companies when they were worth like cents, and now they worth like $100, $200. And I'm like, damn, if I'd have just put in, and I'm already sitting on 250, 300,000. If I'd have just put in 50 racks. Yeah. You know what I mean? I'd have been straight. You know what I mean? Yeah.
So he must be doing good then.
Yeah, T is good, man. He ended up moving to North Carolina, bought a house and all that out there. T's doing his thing, but I just wish that I would have listened. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And that goes back to, like, a lot of us are very, very prideful, and we don't take ownership of or responsibility of, like, what the next level looks like. Yeah. And I know for me, if I would listen to T, like, I'd have been rich, bro. So. Yeah.
Shout out to T, man. Shout out to you. You spread that knowledge.
T money.
You think is this where you stop? Is like options and stocks? Is that it?
Hell no.
For now, or you see yourself?
Nah, bro. Listen, I'm not a millionaire, but I'm a millionaire. Yeah. Right. You're not a millionaire when you make $1 million. You're a millionaire when you think that you're a millionaire, and when you move like a millionaire. So the job is never done until the job is done. And if the job is never done, the job is never done. Right? So for me, what that means is the journey is never ending. The journey is only beginning. Every time you get to that next milestone, a new journey begins. When you make 100,000, you got to make another 100,000, or you want to make 150, or you want to make 200,000. Like, the journey only begins every time you reach a milestone. Yeah. So, like, this is the beginning phase for somebody like myself, where, I have not even, touched the surface yet. Like, we've impacted over 500 students, but yo, there's billions of people on this planet. Like I have not impacted anything yet, not even 1%. You know what I mean?
That's right.
So, job is never done, bro. The job is just beginning, and we're using your platform just to get more, more people and bringing more awareness. You know what I mean? But job is never done, man.
That's definitely that's a blessing that us Hispanics, us people, us men, coming from our background where we came from, could give the information that we can, bro. And it means a lot to me. I know it means a lot to you because you changing lives. You literally changing lives. Like you putting people in a financial stability state. They may not be rich, but they're taking that first step forward into making change.
Yeah.
That's what you're doing. Like sometimes you really need to break it down, understand what you're doing. Because I know you're doing a lot, but you really helping out a lot of people and putting them in the right place. So after, let's say they make the money.
Okay.
Right? So you make your money in the stocks and the options. What do you do next? Do you keep running the bag up or?
You got to find other sources of income and other investments, right? So whether that be real estate, ATMs, car rentals, Airbnb, there's always going to be, or, what's that? Like boats, right? Like there's always going to be an opportunity for you to make money, right? ATMs, right? Owning a business, a brick and mortar or just an online business, but you have to do something, right? You can't just keep your money invested into the stock market. Why? Because if the stock market crashes, all your money's invested, right? If you're doing stock options and you blow your portfolio, you're gonna be discouraged to begin investing somewhere else.
To do anything,
right? So you want to diversify, you want to put your money in other places, and you want to be able to make an impact, right, on your money. In order for you to do that, you have to be knowledgeable in other spaces, like and talking about spaces, an event space is phenomenal. It's a great way to make a lot of money. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And those are the things that we're looking at. We're looking to make more money and let our money work for us. And that's what money is for. Money is created so it can work for you.
Yeah. I have a couple of questions actually in regards to the stocks because everyone wants to get into the stock market and I don't know the information to give them.
Okay.
What's a ETF? What are signals? Like how can we break it down?
So ETF is basically a basket of multiple stocks, right? But you buying one, right? You're buying a group. You're buying what's in the basket, basically, right? So that's the best way to describe it. So let's say you got like Apple, Amazon, Shopify, and Facebook. Let's say those four. That would be like an ETF, right? And instead of you buying one of each, you buy the ETF and you get a representation of each one that's in the ETF. So that's what an ETF
that's
would
look
like.
Right.
A signal is just basically indicating, we see a breakout or a breakdown in a specific stock, and the signal would be like the tip. It would be like, hey, look, Facebook look like it's about to go up. We're going to jump into calls at this price point, boom. Or we're going to jump into puts at this price point, boom. Like that would be the signal.
All right. Because I got into trading. I use Robinhood. Mm-hmm. But Robinhood's probably the simplest platform to use. But if I start pressing other things, I see other things like data, theta, delta. You know what I'm saying? Like Greek or Rome. What is that?
Your Greeks are basically what works for you and what works against you. So like your theta is going to be your time decay. So as long as you hold on to this stock, they're going to be taking X amount of money from you, right? Your rho is like the interest. Your delta is based on every $1 movement that your options contract makes. Your gamma is a reflection of your delta. But like I said, bro, it all comes down to you first understanding what all that does, and then bring it back so that once you understand it, like you can then start picking better strike prices and knowing what you're doing. But if you're just like trading to trade, like and you don't know what these things mean, then you're not most likely going to be at the level you want because you don't know what's going on. You're just like, I hope it goes up because I'm in calls, or I hope it goes down because I'm in puts. And more so that's gambling, you know what I mean? So what we want to do is just educate and put people in a better situation to just, have some sense, right? Like common sense isn't common, but at the same time, it's not common because you're not like seeking that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like just have some knowledge on what everything is so that you can benefit. That's all.
So the fastest way to once I hop in, once the listeners, the viewers, everyone hops in to change. Mm-hmm. Don't just hop in and put some money in, right?
Nah, it's more so. So the way I identify everything is just be a sniper, right? And what would a sniper do? When a sniper gets into a specific situation, it's preparation, right? So more so, he's loading up the barrel, he's loading up his angle, right? He's making sure that the area is good, right? He got enough space, it's secluded, right? There's nobody really, gonna tamper with his shot, right? And then the after he sets up, that might take an hour, and then the next hour, what he's doing, he's waiting on his target, right? And then he's not gonna pull the trigger until he got a clean shot, right? And that's preparation, right? So like Abraham Lincoln said, if I had 7 hours to cut down a tree, I would spend 6 hours sharpening my knife, right? Like that's preparation. And the thing about our people, like we're never prepared. We're always last to the party, right? You don't know nothing, but people think they know everything.
That's right.
You know what I mean? So what I've learned is preparation. Understanding when to get in is the best opportunity. When to get out is the best opportunity, because you need to prepare. You can't just go into the playing field like, oh, I'm gonna jump in because so and so said jump in. Like, bro, that's not how you trade, bro.
This is gonna go up. All right, cool.
Yeah, that's not how you trade, because if it goes down, you don't know when to get out. You don't know what to do. Yep. You know what I mean? So it comes down to preparation. It comes down to being knowledgeable. It comes down to, understanding. And for me, it's like failure, right? Like you got to be willing to fail. You got to be willing to fail. Like failure means everything. Yeah. Like that's the difference between a winner and a loser, bro. A loser is scared to fail. Like you have to fail, and if you're not willing to fail, then you're not willing to succeed.
Yeah.
And in stock options, like you're gonna fail a lot, but
you're gonna lose.
It's because the money is not the why.
Okay.
You know what the why is? The why is like, all right. The why is like, why am I doing this? Well, I want to take care of my family. I never want to go back to working another job. I want to be able to be in control of my own money and my own destiny. Like that's the why. So if I lose, I gotta find out why I lost. What did I do wrong, right? And then boom, it clicks. And then when you start doing everything right, and you get on the winning streak, and then you start making 10,000, 15,000, and you like, oh, that's what the losses was for. They groomed me. Mm-hmm. They groomed me to become this beast, right? So, bro, there's gonna be days where I make 10 racks. There's gonna be days where I lose 10 racks, but we ain't never tripping off 10 racks.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? There's times where I said, damn, I could have bought a rollie today.
Yeah,
and I just gave it back to the market. But then what happens? You could go back and make 15, 20, 30. You know what I mean? And that's the luxury of being in the market, Yeah. But you got to be willing to fail. You got to be willing to fail. And I tell that to everybody. That's the most important thing. I need people to know that failure, you have to embrace it. You have to love. I love failing. I love it.
Yeah.
I love failing, bro.
That's true. Failure. You gotta scrape your knees and get right back up and get to it.
Talking about that. Scraping your knees and going through everything, like if you don't do that, bro, like you don't know what winning is gonna ever feel like.
Yeah.
So I know like Sheryl Sandberg, right? She's the CEO of Facebook. She said, if I fall, let me fall. No, she said, let me fall if I must. The person that will pick me up is who I become. Like that's crazy.
That is.
Right? Because people are so accustomed to like falling, right? But they don't know that after every time you fall, like, bro, you become somebody else because you think differently. Like something ever happened to you, and then like you start to think about what the next step looks like
every day,
right?
Yeah.
And like when I seen that quote by Sheryl Sandberg, I was like, that's crazy. Who I who picks me up is who I become. Like that's enlightening.
That's
you
tough.
know. So
who picks me up is who I become. That's
crazy.
That's tough.
You know.
Right
So
there.
when you talk about like going through it, like, bro, you're gonna change every time you fail, bro.
Yeah.
And I failed more than everybody. You know, and I love it. I love, when I was at Enterprise and I was failing, and my area manager, he wasn't the best leader, bro.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because a leader is gonna help people win. You know, and I won by my failures. You know, and I've gotten up and I became a different person every single time I failed. So when I see a quote like that from Sheryl Sandberg, it just like it makes me go harder. You know what I mean? Like,
so you read? Do you read often? Like, where you get these quotes from? Where you?
Do I
Because you
read?
knowledgeable, bro.
Do I read often?
You knowledgeable, bro.
Bro, reading is real, bro. Reading is the best thing that ever happened to me, and understanding that you could just go into a different world when you read and find out other people's stories. Like, you think your story is crazy, but if you look at a story like Walt Disney, and they told him he didn't have a big imagination, and you working at a news. He was like a editor, right? Walt Disney was an editor, and his manager said, "Yo, you don't have enough imagination," and then he becomes Walt Disney.
That's crazy.
And then it's like, imagine your childhood without Walt Disney.
I get the chills, bro. That's
It's
tough.
crazy. When
That's
you talk
tough.
about understanding people's stories, and you look at somebody like Theodore Seuss. He got rejected from 27 publishing companies before he got accepted to Vanguard Press, and he ended up selling 600 million copies of Dr. Seuss after 27 publishing companies told him this is not good enough. When you talk about story and you talk about the black sheep becomes the goat of the family, like, this is where that comes from. This is where the hunger comes from. When you talk about somebody like Sam Walton, who created Walmart, right? And he based his theory, right, on the inequalities of poor and rich people. He said, how can I get poor people the stuff that rich people are using at a discounted price so they can afford it, right? When you look at Sam Walton, that's what I did. I picked up a Sam Walton book and I said, how can I get my customers rich information from the rich people and give it back to my community at a discounted price? I took a play out of Sam Walton's book.
And made it this.
And I made it where I'm at. You know what I mean? So when you talk about reading, right? Like, bro, that's the best thing that ever happened to me.
That's
you know?
a blessing. A lot of people really gotta read. A lot of people really gotta. You know what it is too? This is the story behind the Chatterbox, bro. I want to spread this information because not everyone's a good reader, or not everyone knows that you could go on your phone and get audiobooks and go listen to the book.
Bro, I'm gonna tell you one thing that I learned, bro. People are equivalent to airplanes.
Why is that?
Airplane loses 40% of its fuel during the takeoff. People feel like the most energy that they lose or they spend on something is starting. And that's why when you and Arvin was talking about going to the gym, I'm gonna do it tomorrow. They lose more energy thinking about the process of starting, but when they start off, they straight through. Same thing like the airplane. It loses 40% of its fuel during takeoff, but then when you get to your destination, it's just coastal. It's straight through, right? But imagine you got a full tank and you lose 40% of your fuel the second you take off. That's impactful.
That is.
And that's why for people, right? People take a very long time starting off. They lose 40% of their fuel.
That is.
Right? It's crazy to think about.
That's actually
it's crazy to think about.
That's,
to me.
That's more than crazy because people, when they start something, people don't know how to start things.
That's what I'm telling you.
And people don't know, like, I read something or I seen something. I was like, it says something about when the time that you don't feel like doing it is the time that it needs to be done.
Exactly.
And I'm like, that shit, like, people need to, what's holding people back? How can we change that? We gonna change that through, how are we changing this? How are we changing people's minds?
So, procrastination, right? Everything comes down to routine and habit, right? So how you wake up in the morning is very impactful. And we have a lot of people in our community that they wake up very late. When they wake up, they don't do their bed. They're they don't make their own breakfast, right? So when you don't have a routine and when you don't create good habits, this leads to, bad behavior. It leads to that syndrome of not wanting to do anything, right? So for people like myself that I create habit and I create routine for myself, it's a lot easier for me to knock down those tasks with no problem, right? So the things that you may feel that is a hassle, it's like bro, that's light, and it's because we create routines and habits. And if you don't have a routine, like you have to create a routine. If you don't have a habit, I know for Arv, like Arv goes to the gym every morning, like that's a part of his routine, right? And he knows like every single day I wake up, I gotta go to the gym, But if Arvin wants to make a bigger impact in his life, then he has to create a larger routine. It needs to be like, yo, I'm gonna go to the gym. I'm gonna jump on a phone call. I'm gonna jump on the Zoom. Then I'm gonna go ahead and do this, right? Like if you have gaps in your day, like Jeff Bezos has no gaps in his day, right? Mark Zuckerberg has no gaps in their day. I can't imagine, right? Like everything is accounted for from the second they get up to the second they go to bed. They know what they're doing, and that's routine and habit, right?
That's crazy. So routine and habit, so that correlates to the stock market.
It correlates to anything, bro.
Anything in life.
Mark Zuckerberg says, I don't pick out what I'm going to wear. I wear the same thing every day because it gives me more time to make better decisions. So he says up until 12 o'clock, like that's when your brain is running like the best executive decisions. So anytime he got to make a big decision, it's going to be from the minute he wakes up until 12 o'clock, right? So he doesn't want to waste time on his outfit. He don't want to waste time on what time he's going to shower, right? Like everything is boom, 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 right? And that's why he's Mark Zuckerberg. You understand?
That's a powerful man.
That's powerful man. That's why I say like I don't care about drip. I don't care about because those people don't.
Hey man, I appreciate you, Tone Dollars. Let's close it up with something good for the people, man. Let's close it up for something good for the people. I mean, you dropped a lot of gems already.
I tried, brother.
You dropped a lot of gems.
I tried. Already. I would say, if you really want to be successful, like dress for the position you want and not for the position you have, right? Like if you really want to be somebody, don't wait until you get to that position to be successful, right? Because that title is not for you, and the perks that come with that title is not for you. Right? It's for that title. And I want everybody to know that you can be successful with or without money. Like the money does not define your success. Like you can be up $1 million, bro, and you could be broke mentally. You can have a broken heart, you can have no friends, you can have, anxiety, depression, right? And be up $1 million.
Yep.
Like so money is not the tangibles, right? Like money or the value of money is to give you more time to spend with your family, right? Yep. It gives you more time and more access to, be a part of bigger mentorships and masterminds and being able to help people that are less fortunate than you, right? And I know for me, when it comes to money, it doesn't mean anything to me to give my dad 5 racks or to buy my girl a Louis bag or a YSL bag because that's what they want. That's what makes them happy. Yeah. You know what I mean? Or taking them on trips and flying out to all these different countries that we go out to. We traveled about 6 to 8 times within the last year, and I've never been the one to travel. Yeah. But it's because I never had money. But when you have, money that you can just, go out to see new sightseeing opportunities and just being in places that you've never thought you'll be able to see and impacting. Like I went to Dominican Republic and I was just giving money away. My girl's like, yo, you just throwing all the money away. And I'm just like, yo, like what's 5, 10, 15, 20, 150, $200? You know what I mean? Like for them, that's everything.
That's right.
For them, that's the am I gonna eat today or am I gonna starve today? You know what I mean? Or I got bread for the week and I didn't have to touch my own. You know what I mean? Like I've been in those situations where I've been in uncomfortable situations where like, the crib I had at Highbridge was it was mice and roach infested, bro. Yeah. Like I've been in that. You know what I mean? Where you had to pluck roaches out the cereal, and then had to go outside like you not doing that.
Yeah, that's a fact.
Like I've been in that. I've been in my book bag might have had roaches in it. I've been in that, and I gotta shake my joint up before I go to school. Like I've been in that. You know what I mean? I grew up with no dad, bro. My dad did 15 years in prison in the feds. I grew up with no father figure. My mom's is pretty much fucking going through it mentally. You know, taking all the anger out on me because I'm the oldest. Like I've been through that. So when you get into a situation where you like, yo, like I could take care of it now, like I got it and I got us, like that's where money is impactful. It comes for that, you know?
Yep.
So I would say like everybody has the opportunity to get where they want. Everybody has the opportunity to win at a high level. But it does come down to, you know, how bad do you want it? And if you dress for that position, like I said, if you want to be that multimillionaire, like how do you become that multimillionaire? And that's the how and the what. And I'm gonna leave it at that. The how and the what mindset is super important, right? It's not how am I going to be a multimillionaire? It's what am I going to do to be a multimillionaire? And when you change the mindset from the how and the what, you're going to start to answer more questions because you're going to put things into different perspectives. So now that I say what am I going to do to be a multimillionaire, it's going to be I'm going to create a YouTube channel. I'm going to have other sources of income. Right, I'm gonna have coaching and mentorship programs. Right, I'm a network with other multimillionaires. I'm gonna see what they're doing. Right, instead of saying how, because the second you say how do I be a multimillionaire, I don't know. All right, I'm done trying to be a multimillionaire. Right, and that's the mindset. So you know, once I incorporated that, and I'm still reading a book a week, bro. I already know I'm gonna hit 10 mil. Easy. You know, I give it by I'm 40. Bro, so I give it 10 years. I know if I'm not 10 mil in 10 years, I'm a commit seppuku. You know, I'm gonna do seppuku and that my man Elon. Last thing I gotta say this.
Say it.
I gotta say this.
We here.
Elon Musk said, "I'd rather commit seppuku than to fail," and that's what I feel right now. So, and seppuku, just to let y'all guys know, it's a samurai. Suicide. So it's basically cutting out your organs from your stomach, right? Disembowelment, right? Than to fail. So I'd rather commit seppuku than to fail. Elon Musk said that. When I read that, bro, that did something to me. It was like, yo, like some people just don't want to get it wrong.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They don't want to lose. They want to win. They want to stay on top forever. But staying on top forever, like I'd rather commit suicide. Like I'd rather disembowel my entire organs than to lose, bro. Like
that's a fact.
If that's not powerful to you, then I don't know, bro.
That's a fact.
That's all I got for y'all,
and
bro.
That's how you close it up. Shout out to you, man. Hey, what's your handle, bro? How can we get in contact with you? How can we join the Discord? All that.
All right, so tone_dollars is how you follow me. That's DOLLARZ. The Planet Profits is planet.profits. This is all on Instagram. If you want to tap into our website, it's going to be jsportfolios.com. And that's jsportfolios.com. And just reach out. We answer every DM. We get back to everybody. We're very, very communicative. We don't, we have this No Child Left Behind program. That's the same thing we stole from the government, but we really implemented where we leave nobody behind. So tap in with us and show us some love, and we got you.
Thank you, my brother. Thank you, man.
You already know, my brother. Later.